It is beautiful outside, perfect September day with lots of sunshine. Oh, would you look at Washington, huh? I'm going outside today.
Other than that, it's kind of quiet around the country. We like quiet. It's quiet. It's too quiet.
What the hell was that?
Sounded like a plane crash.
This just in, you were looking at obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center.
I was taking the garbage out of the building when we heard this roaring engine.
You saw a
yes,
plane?
Yes, I just saw a plane.
In an apparent terrorist attack on our country.
September 11th, 2001 not only changed the entire trajectory of the world in the 2000s and beyond, but it also led to a significant change in the music industry. According to the official 9/11 Commission report, on that Tuesday morning, a group of hijackers coordinated a group of terrorist attacks across the United States. Originating from the terrorist organization Al-Qaeda, the terrorists boarded 4 different flights. Flight 93 was steered to Washington, D.C., with the possible targets being the White House or the Capitol, but instead it crashed in a field in Pennsylvania after courageous passengers struggled for control of the plane. Flight 77 hit a portion of the Pentagon in Virginia, and Flights 11 and 175 hit the North and South Twin Towers in New York City. 2,977 people died on that day, and following the aftermath and collapse of the Twin Towers, entertainment drifted toward a different course. From TV to films to video games, entertainment shortly following the terrorist attacks were altered dramatically. But for this particular video, we'll be looking at unreleased music and altered pieces of songs, and even bands. Shortly following the attacks, Clear Channel Communications, a major radio broadcasting company now known as iHeartMedia, wrote a document to its many radio stations. The 2001 Clear Channel Memorandum, as it was known to be called, suggested a list of 165 songs that radio stations were asked to maybe not play due to some questionable lyrics. It was basically a knee-jerk reaction to say the least. Some of the examples of songs that were found questionable are the following: Queen's Another One Bites the Dust, Jumper, Third Blind Eye, R.E.M's End of the World, Drowning Pool, Bodies, The Happenings, See You in September, and for some reason, What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. Not only were radio stations affected, but so were many albums. The hip-hop group The Coup planned on releasing an album called Party Music. Its original cover was revealed only a couple months before release and... oh no... Boots Riley, a member of the group, explained the symbolism of the cover in an interview. "I came up with the idea with the photographer. We took the pictures on May 15th, and we were done with it by the beginning of June. Any similarities are totally coincidental, and it was originally supposed to be more of a metaphor for destroying capitalism, where the music is making capitalist towers blow up. The politics of the coup have more to do with the people organizing each other. Luckily, the album cover was redesigned before it came out in November of 2001. In the years following 9/11, plenty of songs were inspired. Some songs presented the idea of pride for the New York State and the whole country as a whole, while other songs suggested perhaps a conspiracy of the terrorist attacks. The 9/11 conspiracies deserve a video of its own sometime in the future. But to sum up things, trust in the government began to flee in the years following the attack. The real question after attacks was simply just, why? Will Smith asks the question in his song Tell Me Why. In the powerful narrative, his children ask him why the world continues to let such horrific events happen. Blood will just continue to shed following the event, and perhaps a war of some sorts. I know that Will Smith has become a bit of a joke in the rapping community due to his contained lyrics and his corniness. But to myself, I believe that this rapper has more meaning than most rappers today. Creativity and the way the message is sent to the receiver is one of the most important aspects of music.
'Cause baby, now we got bad blood.
Taylor Swift, the famous country singer turned pop artist, once wrote a song called Didn't They? That went unreleased. In it, she struggles to believe in God after the attacks. I know that recently, Taylor Swift has been starting some drama against another famous musician.
Hey, good morning, Kanye.
Shut the fuck up.
But before she signed a contract on her first record deal, she wrote songs for her school. In Didn't They?, Taylor Swift recalls her day at school and how students all across the United States witnessed the attacks live on TV in the classroom. During the broadcast, you could see people jumping from towers. It was either stay inside the building and burn to death, or take the instant death. This gave a reaction to the onlookers. Weren't most of the people who perished that day good people? She continues to ask, why would a god let such a thing happen? She also tells the story of a man who was on the flight to go home to be with his family, unknowing what would happen. The most powerful line of the song, you may ask? Well, it's this one. "We're here to die for our God." He stood up and said that's funny, 'cause my God died for me. On October 21st, 2001, Michael Jackson held a benefit concert called United We Stand, What More Can I Give? Performances were given by various famous artists and bands, including the Backstreet Boys, Pink, Aerosmith, Rod Stewart, and much more. One of the final songs performed was Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. In it, Michael finds flaws within himself and how others also share flaws. He expresses that we can't just sit at home all day waiting for change. We have to go out there and make the change ourselves. The reason I mention this concert is only because following September 11th, the United States experienced something almost unheard of today. The country was unified. A nation came together as one, and patriotism was expressed in so many ways. The simple notion of United We Stand was more than just a motto. It represented a country coming together as it was going to move on as a whole. It's hard to think that such a thing can happen today, what with political tensions being extremely high. At times like these, I look back to Man in the Mirror. When like-minded citizens work together, they can all have a long-lasting influence. From rubble to skyscrapers high in the sky, in some way, I think America will eventually be alright one day. I know, because it always somehow finds a way.